Did a Southwest Airlines pilot say, "Let's go, Brandon"? Well, if you look at one of the million stories on the newswire like this one right here, "Let's go, Brandon." Southwest investigating pilot's use of anti-Biden phrase during announcement. But the story is really not that clear-cut. This might blow your mind a little bit. Check this out. The Associated Press started it all off, and here is the actual article. On Friday morning on a Southwest flight from Houston to Albuquerque. All right, now we know where we're talking about and when we're talking about. The pilot signed off his greeting over the public address system with the phrase, to audible gasp from some passengers. Southwest said in a statement that the airline takes pride in providing a welcoming, comfortable, and respectful environment, and that the behavior from any individual that is divisive or offensive is not condoned. So this is the AP article. The interesting thing about that paragraph that I just read, it's not in the first person, even though this article is done by a woman named Colleen Long. You see this? That's who actually wrote this article. And then when the follow-up article came out, the Associated Press admitted as much. In fact, it says the airline announced its investigation Sunday after the Associated Press reported the incident in a story about the growing use of the phrase, "Let's go, Brandon," a euphemism in conservative circles for vulgarity targeting Biden. The pilot's use of the phrase drew audible gasps from some of the passengers on the flight. An AP reporter was on the flight. So an AP reporter was on the flight. That AP reporter was Colleen Long. The woman who wrote the first article about this is her own source. She was on the flight. She's writing a story about "Let's go, Brandon," and I don't know, does it just so happen that that gets said on her flight? Or did she decide afterwards to do this? That's one of many questions about this story. So Colleen Long right here on Twitter, it says AP Law Enforcement Reporting Team Leader, DOJ, and SCOTUS. And she says, that face when you're trying to go on vacation and then the pilot says the very thing you're working on over the loudspeaker. You have to try to get him to comment, but then you almost get removed from the plane. So that answers my question. She was already writing an article about "Let's go, Brandon," and then it just so happens that this Associated Press writer ends up on a plane where a Southwest Airlines pilot says, "Let's go, Brandon." What a grand coincidence. I mean, this is almost amazing. So she continues, and she says, in defense of the airline, I was asking them to open the locked cockpit and probably sounded insane. So she's like storming the cockpit after she thinks a pilot on a notoriously hard to hear communication system said the very thing that she was writing an article about. Are you following what's happening here? We keep going down the rabbit hole. She says, Colleen Long, the Associated Press reporter that started this whole story. The airline did respond. Southwest team takes pride in providing a welcoming, comfortable, and respectful environment for the millions of customers who fly with the airline each year, and behavior from any individual that is divisive or offensive is not condoned. It didn't take long for people to start rallying up here. Let's go after Southwest Airlines. In fact, they were calling them MAGA Airlines, and Southwest Airlines so radicalized he's willing to shout slurs on an airplane, and this should terrify passengers and crew members, and we're not flying Southwest anymore, and journalists comparing this to saying, you know, I support ISIS or whatever. On and on it went. But where was the actual evidence in this? Well, here we go. This is an article from Forbes. Forbes says, on the flight happened to be Associated Press journalist Colleen Long. She included the incident in an article she wrote about the chant, noting that she heard audible gasps from passengers. A TikTok user on the same flight captured the audio of the pilot ending his message with, "Thank you for flying Southwest Airlines. Welcome aboard. Let's go, Brandon." All right, well, now we've got some audio. Let's listen to this audio. Here it is right here. Southwest pilot says, "Let's go, Brandon," over the intercom. Now let's listen in.
Out of the east, about 7 or 8 miles an hour. Good visibility, mostly clear skies, 77 degrees. Thanks for coming out flying with Southwest Airlines. Welcome aboard. And remember, let's go Brandon.
All right, we cut off right at the end of that. Cut off right at the most important part of this. Mind you, the pilot is recording himself.
About 7 or 8 miles an hour. Good visibility, mostly clear skies, 77 degrees. Thanks for coming out flying with Southwest Airlines.
Now, for a second, ignore that it says "Let's go, Brandon" all over the screen, because that sometimes can shape things in your mind. Remember also that the World Series is going on, and the Braves are playing in the World Series. And at least in the playoffs, they've been up there for a while. This is not uncommon for pilots to say things like, let's go Braves, or he looks to be a sports fan, go Packers, when he drops everybody off.
Aboard, and remember, let's go Braves.
See, you can't hear it. They cut it off, and it's probably very purposely cut off. Another thing of note is she said that this happened Friday. I mean, this magical moment for Colleen Long when she was writing a story about Let's Go Brandon, and her pilot signed off on the Southwest Airlines flight with Let's Go Brandon. She stormed the cockpit and was refused any kind of access right there. But this, that is supposed to be the audio of this Southwest pilot saying, let's go, Brandon. Check this out. This post, this is the same thing. This is the exact same video. This is from October 12th, right? This is from October 12th. And you can see that the TikTok here is from That Patriot Mom. Well, That Patriot Mom's TikTok right here is from the 11th. And I think this is even a TikTok within a TikTok. So this thing is, at the very least, multiple weeks old. I mean, this story from October 12th, or the tweet right here of the video, clearly predates Colleen Long being on this flight where she said that the Southwest Airlines pilot said, let's go, Brandon. We don't have any of the other passengers confirming this. She doesn't have any audio or video evidence of this happening. We are to believe that Colleen Long was on a flight ready to write an article about Let's Go Brandon, and a pilot, the only pilot that's ever on record saying this as the flight ends, just so happened to say it on her flight. I don't know, man. I don't know about this. No other passengers have come on board to say that this actually occurred. And sometimes when something seems to be a really big coincidence, maybe it's all too good to be true. So do you think the pilot said this to begin with? Or do you think the AP writer might be making things up? And at the very least, don't we deserve a little more evidence before they go and dunk somebody on all this? I imagine they might have some audio of it because Southwest Airlines is investigating. And boy, if it came out that the pilot didn't say that and he said, let's go Braves, and she misheard him, wow, we'd be in a whole nother territory, wouldn't you? What do you think? Did the pilot actually say this? Is the AP running with stories where they're pretending to be speaking from a different person, but in fact, it was the voice of the person writing that was the source of this information? This all seems so crazy to me. Let me know what you think in the comments below. This is a take that you're not really seeing out there so far in the mainstream media reporting of this story. So if you want to help, hit that share button to pass the word and spread this video out to your friends. That'd be greatly appreciated. Give me your thoughts, your suspicions, and everything in between. Maybe you believe that there's a very good possibility that people are saying this. I mean, there are people out in the world saying, let's go Brandon, for sure. Let me know in the comments below. If you're new around here, facebook.com/thenewsjunkie. Hit that follow button for videos just like this every day. Over at youtube.com/thenewsjunkie. Hit subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you to my supporters, the people who pay a little bit each month to help out with videos just like this. I appreciate you. I appreciate you watching this video, and we'll talk to you again real soon.